Today is the third day of May in the Bahamas. And the Bahamas, 75% of the population is living in poverty after COVID-19. In Abaco, 95% can't find food, water, no electricity. I want to let the world know that this FNM administration and the most honorable Prime Minister, gynecologist turned Prime Minister, Dr. Hubert Minnis, the greatest piece of legislation that they have put forward to the Bahamian people in their 3 years. And the legislation is still standing. And the Prime Minister of the Bahamas was so proud of this legislation that he passed for the wives of the minister and the Prime Minister, for the government of the Bahamas and the poor people of the Bahamas to pay for their wives' first-class travel wherever they go with their husbands. The government of the Bahamas and people like Kai Mills is to afford the bill. Not only are we paying for their wives' first-class ticket, we have to give the wife $100 a day to go shop in Macy's and all these expensive clothing shop, jewelry shop in America, while the people of the Bahamas cannot find food after the government, with this incompetent administration, has sent people home from their work. Even islands that do not have the COVID-19, you cannot go to work, nor can you travel. I want to know when is the government of the Bahamas is going to repeal that vexing legislation that allow their wives to travel free, first class, and $100 a day. This is so sad for the Bahamas to see what's going on. And my thing about that is that if the wife wanted free travel and per diem, she ought to go to the Bahamian people and get elected. She weren't elected. Now, I may go along with that if these FNM ministers' wives look like Margaret Pinland. Margaret Pinland is in her 80s, and she looks better than these FNM wives. That's probably why they want to pay them to get them away from them. But your wives we don't need to pay for your wives. You need to keep them home. Let them give you a hot meal. Take care of you after you come back from a stressful day at work. Your wife there in them small clothes trying to make you feel good about yourself again. But you are giving your wives money and perks like if she went to the Bahamian people to get elected. That is unacceptable. And then the Prime Minister gave his wife a ministry. And the Bahamian people and the FNM people are so proud of this legislation. Ministry of the spouse of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister's wife, he passed legislation for her to get a salary. And the Bahamian people never took to the street. While this FNM government got a knee on the throats of the Bahamian people, and their wives could travel first class, and when she traveled, we pay for her to go shopping. This is unacceptable. This is one of these Kai Care video to let you know that we have an absolutely uncaring Prime Minister but he ain't got no heart, he ain't got no soul, he ain't got no vision for the Bahamian people. 3 years in, this piece of legislation will go down in history as the most honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Hubert Minnis' greatest accomplishment is that he gave his wife a ministry. He gave his wife travel expense on the backs of poor, broke, hungry Bahamians. I'm not even talking about Abaco, because what they have done to Abaco and continue to do for Abaco is unheard of. 9 months in, they're still trying to take up the garbage off the streets of Abaco, Marshaba. 9 months in, if you look at Abaco, the workers of Bahama Power and Light, they could get temporary power that they don't have to turn on their generator. But the management there disallow any other persons to get temporary power. This is happening to date in Abaco. You got over 400 to 500 homes in Manawa, Hopetown, Guanakee that don't know when they're going to get power. You imagine Nassau. Let's deal with Nassau. The power was off a couple hours in Nassau. Headline news. Every newspaper, every radio took it. Every television station, power off in Nassau. 4 hours. The power has been off in Abaco for 9 months. There's nothing on the state-run television to deem this unacceptable. There's no newspaper that came and put Abaco on the front page. Unacceptable. Abaco people has been through a hurricane and they can't get power, nor can they get water. 9 months later. Yesterday was the first day that an American company has put a crew to clean up the biggest school in Abaco, paying the workers $100 a day. My Lord. An American company is the first set of official cleaning, besides what Lukey, those did down there, are on the ground at Abaco Central High yesterday, 9 months later. But Hiram Lewis, the minister responsible for incompetency, absolutely useless ministry, and Minister Hiram Lewis said the schools and the churches are ready if hurricane were to hit today. I see why K. Fall Smith is walking all over his face. He's an absolute idiot and an ass. Idiot and an ass, Hiram Lewis. And don't forget, Nema, Captain Russell. He's the same idiot and ass to go along with Hiram Lewis. When last has Hiram Lewis and Captain Stephen Russell do a walkthrough to Abaco and to these places that they lied on national television on Sunday to say that they're ready? And then they came behind and said they have people that are already doing classes to manage these shelters. When has such class taken place? How could you manage what you don't have, Minister? That's an absolute lie to the world and the Bahamian people. How could you manage a shelter and giving classes for persons who's going to manage the shelter when there's no shelter? Come clean. Stop lying to the Bahamian people. When as Captain Russell and the incompetent, absolute incompetent minister, Hiram Lewis, gonna do a walkthrough. The two of them together, two-headed monsters, Put y'all two heads together, see if you can make one, and to make sense of the lie that you already told the Bahamian people. Put the camera there. Show the Bahamian people. Show the world that what you're saying is absolutely true. Show us. Don't tell us. We know it's a lie in Abaco. Show us. Tell us the name of the places that are ready in case a hurricane would have hit to date. Y'all say we're ready. Where is such place? It's WCAY trying to put the fire on the Hiram Lewis. You see the F&Ms, they like fire. Put some fire on the behind so he could finally tell the truth. This is an absolutely garbage administration, garbage government. F&M. We got to find another name for them because they're absolutely weightless. Weight nothing. I can't even find the words to say on tape. I could tell them the words off tape, but I can't say it on tape what I think about this government. And people like Hiram Lewis and Captain Stephen Russell, who said that Abaco is ready, and they haven't even picked up the debris. Nor have they given us water or electricity. Can't even get temporary power. You have to work for Bahama Power and Light to get temporary power to shut them generators off. Manawa, Hopetown, Guanaki, they're crying, when, oh, when will we have power? We've been ready 3 months. Come on, government. Come on, F&M government. These are the people that stood at the poll for hours to vote this absolutely weightless government into power. And y'all thought the PLP was bad. You didn't have any eye there. Old people say, be careful what you ask for. You know what you got in the PLP, but y'all didn't know what y'all were getting in the F&M. You never thought that so soon the F&M would be absolutely weightless. Kai Care, you're live with Kai on the third day of a new hurricane season, when the minister and the directive namer continued to lie to the world and the Bahamian people and said, Abaco is ready, the shelters is ready. Absolutely liars. Unacceptable for ministers to be lying to the people that they swore that they would serve. Kai Case.